At the top of the page, we've drawn a phylogeny that includes all living things. 2.7 billion years ago, archaea and bacteria split from each other, and eukaryotes evolved around 2.2 to 2.7 billion years ago. In the eukaryote groups are protists, plants, fungi, and animals. At some point about 1.2 billion years ago, sexual reproduction evolved and is the primary reproductive strategy for plants and animals on planet Earth, as well as many fungi and protists. So, how did this evolve? We read about some evidence in class, and this is one of the questions where you're required to provide evidence for your evolution story. Recall that in the snail population we read about, in environments with disease, snails that can sex or asex choose to have sex. Also, clonally reproducing snails' offspring died in parasite-rich environments. Finally, in bacteria-infested environments, plants choose sex with unrelated partners, increasing diversity. And the fourth thing is that females tend to choose disease-free males as a form of sexual selection. Therefore, if you don't want to do research on your own, the easiest way to answer this question is to use disease as a selective pressure to explain the evolution of sex. Some funky stuff happens with DNA during sexual reproduction, and we haven't covered genetics yet, so you could come up with a change in DNA during reproduction here, or you could avoid the topic entirely. So in your story, you're going to have individuals that can sex and individuals that can asex. You're going to describe the population, you're going to have this happen, and then you're going to compare the offspring from sex and asexual reproduction. You're going to have a disease force that's going to cause selection, and you really need to think about what are the offspring's survival chances? What's actually different about the offspring? Disease comes in and it wipes out individuals, and then you're going to have a part where you're going to have the next generation. Who's going to survive to reproduce? What are those individuals' traits going to be as it relates to the disease, and what are they then therefore likely to pass to their offspring? Finally, how does the population change over time? And really, remember here, what the heck is this essay about in the first place? Now, don't forget to include evidence, which will also have to be on your note card unless you want to memorize a bunch of stuff, which I highly suggest you do not do.